Hi guys, it's Dawn Marie. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a little ink blending and some Copic coloring for you, and I hope you enjoy. I have a art impression stamp set called Howl-oween. Yes, my first Halloween card. I'm starting to get in the fall mode, you know. So I'm going to show you my supplies here. I'm using a little bit of Distress Oxide ink, some Gina ink to stamp out my images. I started my stamping prior to turning my camera on. I forgot to turn it on, but I made some masks and cut them out because I'm stamping them all together, so I needed to mask them out. Plus I'm going to be doing some ink blending over top of them. So I'll go ahead and now place my masks down. You have to make sure you get it on just right so that you don't, so when you do the ink blending you don't have spots where you've missed, you know. So I have a stencil that I got from Crafter's Workshop. It's a brick wall stencil. I wanted to make it look like they were standing behind a wall. I mean, standing in front of a wall. So I'm going to put a little tape on the back of my panel to hold it down, and then I'll tape my stencil down. That way it doesn't shift while I'm blending. So I am using Aged Mahogany Distress Oxide ink. This sponge is brand new, so I need to get it really inky. They work so much better when they're inky as opposed to, you know, not so inky. So at first I was just going to do a little, you know, not a full wall, you know, like the suggestion of a wall. But then I ended up coloring it all in to make it an actual wall. So I'll go ahead and I'll remove my masks, which is a bugger. I should have got my tweezers out right away, but I did anyway after. So I'll go ahead and I'll do some Copic coloring here for you. Let's see what my colors are. I'm using a Y38 here for my dark tone, and then I'll bring in a Y35 for my mid-tone. I could have used a little bit more contrast, I'm thinking, on this now that I'm looking at it. My dark should have been a little bit darker, but it still came out pretty good, I thought. But yeah, so I'll have to check that out, look at my yellow combination and see if I have anything darker. I probably do. So I'll bring in a Y18 next. No, I'm sorry, a Y26 next. No, it's a Y18. Y26 is what I bring in to, it's darker actually. So I'll bring in the Y18 for my lightest tone to do the tips of the sunflower. He looks very thrilled to have this costume on, doesn't he? I love this stamp set. The priceless looks on their faces. Look at the cat. He looks like he's miffed, doesn't he? They all do. Which, if you think about it, that's probably exactly the expression. If your dog could make an expression, I'm sure that's the expression it would make. Because I know sometimes my dogs look at me like, are you kidding me? Because I'll put on one of my little one, I put a sweater on him. I used to put him in some pajamas, but he didn't care for the pajamas too much. But I do put a sweater on him because he's always cold. He's a Chihuahua mix. He's a Shih Tzu Chihuahua mix. So the Chihuahua side it promotes Chihuahuas have very thin hair. Almost like patches of it missing, so he's always cold, you know, especially once I get him groomed. When we bring him home, and if I have the air conditioner on, obviously. So he's laying here beside me. He likes to have his sometimes he's very much a Klingon, so I have my arm wrapped around him, so I'm hoping that I can get through this whole voiceover without him barking. We'll see, right? So I'm using my warm grays here. I'm making him a gray dog. I'm using warm gray 5, and I'll bring in warm gray 3, and let's see, warm gray 1. I sped it up a little bit. I sped it up to 3 times fast. If I go 2 times fast, which I've explained this before, I can see exactly what's going on, but if I have it at 3 times fast, it starts stuttering the video. So it stops and I have no idea where it's at, so I can only describe to you what I can see. So I try to fill in some of the blank time. But anyway, yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll use my lightest tone on him, which is a W1. And I think at this point, yeah, I've moved on to the cat. The cat's colors are, they're, let's see, what are they? Okay, it's YR27, E97 and YR23. So I made stripes as the tabby cat, obviously. I made some stripes with my YR27. And then I'll come in and blend it down a little bit with my E97. And my lightest tone I'm using here, I think I'm using it already, is a YR23. It's closer to the yellowish side. Yeah, I'm using it now. So I love the look on his face, or her face. I put her in a pink outfit, so I hope it's a girl. Although, you know, he'd probably be even more angry if it was a boy and he had pink on. Not that cats care. I think cats have more, you know, like, they can be persnickety as opposed to dogs. You know what I mean? They can have attitude. Dogs really, they're kind of goofy and lay around and they do their thing, whatever. They're not really attitude-ish, but if that's a word. But cats definitely are. You know, you look at them and you tell them not to do something, they'll turn around and do it anyway. Not to say dogs don't do that either, because my dogs listen to me like, I don't know, hardly ever. They're very undisciplined brats. But I love them. I love them to pieces. So I am using pinks now. I'm using, actually they're reds. R85 I'm using for my dark. R83 for my mid-tone. And R81 for my light. And I'll use a warm gray one for my, for the white parts of her outfit. Her outfit. Her, him, whatever. I used a warm gray on her belly too. I don't do very good with the whites. I mean, they're okay. I could put more contrast on them, but contrast scares me with whites. You know what I mean? I'm afraid if I put if the gray too dark, then I don't know. To me, it just looks like I have gray on my white. It doesn't look white anymore, you know? Anyway, it's something I'm working on still. I go dark to light because that's the way I was taught. I started taking Kit and Clouder classes, and Elise, she's the one who teaches the classes. She teaches you dark to light. And I don't know, for some reason dark to light just feels more comfortable for me. I've done light to dark. Yeah, dark to light works better for me. So, and I don't lose my highlight. I mean, I don't think I do anyway. Generally, I do, you know, only so much dark and light. I usually don't put enough dark, the contrast, you know, more than not putting enough light. But anyway, I am using some blues now. I am using B99 for my shadows on this little pug's outfit, which is, I should have made this costume pink. I think a pink bunny would have been funnier. I don't know why I didn't, but anyway, I was thinking a blue one at the time. Now that I look at it, I'm thinking pink would have been funnier. You know, I've seen pink bunnies before. Not a real bunny, but you know, pink bunny costumes. I don't know if I've ever seen a blue one, but I have now because I made one. Oh my goodness, I'm kooky today. So I am using the B97 now. I'm blending it down, the dark down a little bit. I should have put a little bit more dark underneath the ear. I went in after and put more dark in. Everything looked pretty good with this one, but one ear isn't. When I look at it now, one ear don't look too blended, not blended enough. But anyways, then I am using a little E95. I actually went in with the E93 as well. So I used 4 colors on this outfit. And the coloring's just about finished. Just cleaning up my, I am a very messy colorer, so I tend to go out of the lines quite frequently. So between using the colorless blender to clean up my mess and white gel pen is my friend. After all is said and done, if it still looks like there's a little color there, I'll take the white gel pen to it and then you can't even see it. But I'm getting better at it. I'm getting more control with my tip. I used a little bit more colorless blender on the eyes of this dog because I got a little gray on them. So I'll go ahead and stamp out my sentiment now. I'm using a piece of Simon Says Stamp black cardstock, and I'm using some Simon Says Stamp ultra fine white detail embossing powder. And I'll go ahead and I'm using my VersaMark to stamp out my sentiment. I'm going to heat emboss it. Now this is only 2 times, so it's moving at the right pace now to keep, I can keep, you know, like we're at the same pace now. So I can see exactly what's going on. But I did manage to talk through all the coloring, so instead of just having music, I don't know if the music is helpful. I mean, if it's, I don't know, it seems weird when there's no music there. It just seems like it's too quiet. So I just put a little subtle music now in the background, just subtle. But I could put no music in the background if you guys don't like music. So any and all comments and you know, things to add to my, you know, what I do right and what I do wrong are helpful, you know, only for my next videos, you know what I mean? So please comment on that. Tell me what I'm doing right and what I'm not doing right. I would love that because it only helps me, you know. So I made I took a Tim Holtz decal edge die, and I made like a sign to go behind him. So it's kind of like I was thinking, don't feed the animals. Except it's, you know, it's Halloween, time to dress up the dog. Except I forgot about the fact that there's a cat in the middle of the two. That's probably why he's so miffed, because he's not, you know, discussed. So they got full bags of treats anyway, you know what I mean? So they shouldn't be too cranky. So yeah, I did off camera, I did I colored the pumpkin and the treat bag. The pumpkin is colored with YR16, E19, and R05. I'm going to use a little 3M foam tape to pop up my sign, and I will use foam tape as well to pop up my treat bag and my pumpkin. Did you guys have one of those pumpkins when you were trick-or-treating, or do your kids have one? My son had one of those little plastic pumpkins to go trick-or-treating in. I remember one year I dressed him up like Count Dracula and did his makeup. He came out so cool. He was so impressed with how I did the makeup. I felt like, you know, I was the queen mother that day. Because I did such a good job on his makeup. I was pretty good at doing makeup. I did my brother one year as Ace Frehley from Kiss, and my cousin Kenny as what's that guy, Gene Simmons. I did, you know, their makeup. Remember how they used to, Kiss has that funny makeup? I did their makeup, and it came out really good. So yeah, it was fun. I love Halloween. Halloween is so much fun. I love the decorations, everything about it. Well, I hope you enjoyed my card today from Art Impressions Howl-oween. So cute. Love them expressions of them dogs. All the supplies I use can be found in the description down below and also on my blog. So if you enjoyed watching today and have yet to subscribe, I encourage you to hit that button. That way you'll know when I have a new video up. And I will be back on Friday with another video. So I do have a couple of announcements. I am going to be reaching 200 shortly. So I've been stashing a few crafty goodies away for that one lucky winner for my giveaway. So look for that announcement soon. I'll also be doing a secret stamp challenge with Jamie Madison. So the details and everything will be coming up for that soon. Probably the end of the month, beginning of next month. We'll be doing that collaboration. Alright, so I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I appreciate you watching and tuning into my channel. And I'll see you soon. Bye now.